Many brothers I be sparking and rusting, man, like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifested. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred life.
Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is a time of month where a lot of the content that we talk about on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy, or it's going to be speculative theories that are based on stuff that takes place in the actual manga. So because the actual manga chapter this month is coming out sooner, instead of the 20th, it's coming out on the 18th, we're actually going to start the actual spoiler conversations a little bit sooner than usual. So anime only fans, just check back on the actual episode review on Sunday. But with that being said though, if you're still here, I'm assuming you're all caught up and you don't care about me talking about spoilers or speculative theories. So diving right in, I think that now that we're in a situation where Ikimoto said last year at Jump Festa that the time skip was going to be coming soon, that we need to actually start looking at some of the stuff that the anime's done and actually start raising our expectations for Himawari Uzumaki. And I'm actually going to shift my previous stance. In the past, one of the things I said was like, yo, I don't think Himawari is going to become a shinobi. I think that they deliberately set it up for Boruto to be the one that becomes a shinobi and Himawari to basically be the representation of what this new ninja world is, where, you know, children can choose to become shinobi. It's not mandatory that they undergo the training at the academy. It's an either or type of a situation, and I really felt like Himawari is going to be in that situation. However, as I went back and I reread the manga, and in particular I went back and I rewatched certain Boruto episodes. So the episodes earlier on in the Academy arc where Hyuga was really hyping up Himawari, and then I looked over some of the passages from some of the actual light novels, and I'm changing my stance now. So I'm officially on the train, on the board of Himawari becoming a ninja in the actual time skip, and I think it is something to where, hands down, narratively, this is probably one of the better options you can go for in the actual story. So what made me change my mind? Well, there's actually a few things. So the very first thing that really stood out was the fact that Himawari, when you look at what Hyuga said, Hiyashi said that it was absolutely insane for Himawari to be able to awaken the Byakugan without any type of training beforehand, and that even though she wasn't able to manifest it after that at will, it was one of those things to where if it ever happened, Hiyashi directly said like, hey, bring her here so we can oversee her training. And what I like about this is the fact that in the anime, we've actually seen moments where Himawari, when her emotions are triggered, she goes into that Byakugan and she has a very, very deceptive amount of raw power. We've seen those actual moments right there, but also when you look at the light novels, in particular in the Naruto Parent and Child Day novel, which it was actually alluded to in one of the openings, where you saw Hanabi and she was overseeing the training of Boruto and Himawari. Well, in that light novel, one of the things we find out is that Himawari directly requested to be able to train Boruto, but we also know that Himawari and Boruto underwent some levels of training with the actual Hyuga clan. And what I like about this is the fact that you have the backdoor seeds planted on this actual situation, and now all of a sudden, if Himawari was able to awaken that Byakugan at such a young age, you have to start the conversation of, does she also have those genius genes of Minato that Boruto has? And I definitely think it's the case. And in some instances, I think that for as much of a badass as Boruto is, you could argue that Boruto is more so a mixture of what Naruto and Kushina and Minato was. It's all kind of melded in there together. Himawari's been shown to be very considerate, very patient, and very observant. Those are all traits that Minato has. And you really see that when you go to the academy episode and she's undergoing the actual training and she's talking to one of the kids and continuing, and she's got Naruto's stubbornness, something that Iruka himself actually looks at and says like, man, I really feel like I'm watching Naruto all over again. That's high praise right there. But the other thing though is that when you really look at it, Himawari also was in a situation where you had those kids who that was their goal to get into Ninja Academy. They were training to become ninja. Himawari treated it like it was just random play day, and she displayed physical stats in that time to where it's just like, wait a second, this is all raw, untamed power. She's undergone some training, but nothing super rigorous because she hasn't made her mind up. She doesn't know if she's gonna draw those ugly ass drawings or if she's gonna undergo the Hyuga clan training. She hasn't made her mind up which path she's gonna go. But when you look at this new generation, we don't have anybody in this new generation who is able to manifest the Byakugan at will. In this new generation, nobody in Boruto's class has that. This is the first time we haven't had a Hyuga actually in this generation, and I really feel like this is a situation where when you look at what she has going for her, if she gets the right sensei that's able to oversee her training, Himawari could take those steps forward and actually surpass Neji Hyuga. And Neji was an absolute beast. Imagine having Uzumaki levels of chakra reserves and the Byakugan. That is an absolute monster right there. And I want to go a step further. I want to say I think that we already have room for who that shinobi can be. Right now, Rock Lee does not have a team. If anybody knows how the Byakugan works, it's Rock Lee, because this dude was sitting there working his ass off. That way he can actually take down Neji. The fact is that Rock Lee or Tenten, no meme in this instance, Rock Lee or Tenten would be the perfect person to be Himawari's sensei and oversee Himawari's team. And if we get a time skip that is gonna last as long as the Naruto time skip, which, to reiterate, despite what a lot of people are saying, it is not a 3-year time skip. It is a 2.5-year time skip. And I'll just do a brief refresher because a lot of people overlook this. Jiraiya said that, hey, we got 3 years until Orochimaru takes over Sasuke's body. That is correct. However, they returned to Konoha 6 months before that 3-year period, because when you get to the Tenchi Bridge arc, Sai directly says, hey, we still got 6 months to save Sasuke. That's where that 2.5-year number comes in, because Naruto returns to the village, they go to the Sand Village, they come back to Konoha, then they go to Tenchi Bridge. There's not a lot of time that actually passes in there. That's where that 2.5-year number actually comes in. So right now in the manga currently, Himawari is 10 years old. We have not gotten to Boruto's 13th birthday, which means that we have not gotten to Himawari's 11th birthday. I've done a whole video breaking down Himawari's age with actual facts and proof that I recommend checking out if you're still curious about her age. But essentially, we're in a situation where if this is the case and we get a 2.5-year time skip, then you're going to be in a situation where Himawari is a fresh Ganin. She's going to be a fresh Ganin because she'll be 12 and a half at this time. And I'm very curious to see if they make her a ninja, because if they make her a ninja and she's able to undergo the training, that's going to be something very interesting, because Amato directly said like, hey, you know, we have those Byakugan suppressant drugs. I really feel like there's another meaning behind that. I really feel like there's something else with it, and they directly said like, hey, make sure Himawari doesn't get hold of these. So I don't know, maybe that's just me being overly hopeful because I got my hopes up, but I'm going from I don't think it's gonna happen to I'm gonna say I'm putting this as a strong 7 that Himawari's gonna become a ninja in the time skip. However, I want to know from you guys, if Himawari does become a ninja, how high do you think Himawari's ceiling is? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.